Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing 3 different eyeshadow tutorials using this new palette from Sydney Grace. This is called the Enduring Love palette, and I am so excited about this palette. I've had it for a while now and I have been playing around with it, and the pigmentation is amazing. Like, their quality is unbelievable. I have really enjoyed this palette more so than I thought I would. There are 2 different palettes. There's a light palette and a deep palette. I chose the deep palette. The only difference between the light and the deep is that they have the exact same shades as far as that goes, like the color story and stuff, but some of the shades are just a little bit deeper so that they show up a little bit better on darker skin tone. So I went ahead and got the deep palette. This palette retails for $52, and I love the metal case, and it has a nice sized mirror, but the shadows, you guys, are explosive. Like, some of these shades are like no other shimmer shades I have ever used. Like, look at that. I mean, seriously, can you see that? It is like metallics on another level. The way that this palette applies is like unbelievable. It is such a beautiful palette. In my personal humble opinion, I feel like the quality is better than Natasha Denona. I'm just going to be honest. All of the mattes are very buttery and very smooth, but very pigmented and also very easy to blend out. You don't get any patchiness, you don't get any muddiness. They just are so beautiful. And I love this palette. Like, I have loved it since the day I got it. In the video, I'm going to do 3 different eyeshadow tutorials and also some swatches and all that. So it's just going to be a fun video, all surrounded by Sydney Grace and their beautiful eyeshadow palettes. You guys, this palette is nothing but quality. It is fabulous and beautiful and so pigmented. Great quality, love it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into the 3 tutorials and the swatches, and I will see you guys in my final thoughts.
We got through all the tutorials and all the swatches. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys, but let me just say, I have to give this palette a 5 out of a 5. It's like a 10 out of a 5. It's a great palette, great quality. The nice thing about Sydney Grace is majority of their products are all single shadows. So if you didn't want to buy the entire palette, there's tons of different single shadows that you can choose from. I just highly recommend their quality. Their quality is spectacular and I am obsessed. They sent me out a package with several single eyeshadows and I have just been loving them. They're so beautiful. And like I said, great pigment, full quality, like this is amazing. Like this is something that needs to be talked about more. This is a brand that deserves more love than they get because this is fantastic quality, you guys. Like one of the best. In my opinion, I'm just going to say it. I feel like this is just as good as Pat McGrath and to me, better than Natasha Denona. The reason why I say that is because the mattes are very dependable. And I feel like, you know, Natasha Denona is constantly changing things up and she's constantly changing, you know, the direction in which she's going in different formulas and all that. And it's really hard to keep up on what formula you're going to like and what formula you're not. But consistently, all of the shadows that I've used in this palette and all the single shadows that they sent me in a PR package, I have just felt that all of the mattes, all of the shimmers, they all apply the same and they're all just really beautifully pigmented. I think I like the mattes from Sydney Grace more than I do Pat McGrath. The only reason, don't get me wrong, now that I've learned how to use Pat McGrath, I really love her mattes. But when you first start using Pat McGrath, it can get frustrating because it's so much pigment that you almost have to learn how to kind of like lightly tap into the pigment and then lightly start building. I had to learn how to use her mattes. They're just very, very pigmented. But the thing that I will say about the Sydney Grace mattes is that you get the pigment, but they're in a very soft, flattering way. Very similar to the Scott Barnes. So that is the #1 reason why I love the Scott Barnes palette, is because his mattes just blend themselves. Like you don't have to have that much effort. And I feel like with Pat McGrath, you really have to learn how to use her shadows to learn how to appreciate them. But with something like Sydney Grace or Scott Barnes, they're so soft and so buttery, yet so pigmented. You never have to worry about them getting muddy or anything in the crease or not blending out. Just so dependable, so beautiful. Highly recommend it. Now, I don't particularly love this color story. There are some shades in here that I'll probably never use, but a lot of the single shadows that they sent me, love them. So if you guys have been interested in buying and kind of splurging on Sydney Grace, I highly recommend it. I think they're fantastic. I hope that these tutorials were helpful for you guys.
that's it for the video. I love you guys so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Love you. Bye.